All right, good Tuesday morning. We are off to a sunny start across northeast Wisconsin. It definitely feels nice to have that golden glow back out in our skies. This is First Alert Chief Meteorologist Steve Beylon. How you doing in the First Alert Weather Center? Let's see, what are we going to show this morning? All right, well, why don't we get you out to a live shot from our Green Bay sky cam. We've got a true blue hue to the sky. Looks like sunny, no clouds, 24. And notice the calm conditions. You can tell by looking at the flag above the Brown County Courthouse. It is just kind of drooped along the flagpole there. So not much wind at all. Calm air, so it actually feels like 24 degrees. Temperatures are in the 20s, except for some teens up north. 16 in Rhinelander, 19 in Iron Mountain. Meanwhile, it is 27 degrees in Appleton. Most of our temperatures have dropped about 10 to 15 degrees over the past 24 hours. It's definitely a colder start to our day. But on the bright side, other than the sun, is that there's not much wind. We've got a lot of zeros on our wind speed map, and this is courtesy of high pressure, which is passing overhead today. So today, cold but calm in the morning, up to 30 at 10 o'clock, 36 degrees in Green Bay, 1 o'clock this afternoon, a high of 40 around or just after 4 o'clock this afternoon. Crisp weather and golden sunshine. As we head towards this evening, we'll start to pick up a brisk south wind on the backside of departing high pressure, and that means changes for us as we go through the rest of the week. First Alert Pinpoint Predictor shows your high temperatures getting up to 42 in Shawano, 44 in Wapaka, 34 for a high temperature in Sheboygan and in Manitowoc, and a high of 36 degrees in Marinette. So cooler by the Bay Shore and the Lake Shore. Our next weather maker, it's coming in tomorrow, so it's a Wednesday weather maker. So we're going to have some wet snow and then some rain in the morning. And then as we go into the afternoon, it turns windy and warmer, especially away from Lake Michigan. And then heading into Wednesday evening, another batch of some rain showers. So it looks wet early and late tomorrow. So we've got an area of low pressure that's going to be hugging the U.S.-Canadian border over the next day or so. It's going to be moving off to the east and pushing a warm front closer and closer to Wisconsin. And as that warm front gets closer, we will see increasing clouds tonight. First Alert Pinpoint Predictor is dry up until about 2 a.m. Then we get these scattered snow showers pushing into the area. And notice that we've got a little bit of some wet snow falling around 6 a.m. It doesn't take very long tomorrow before that snow switches over to rain. That's because our temperatures are going to be rising as we go into tomorrow. Those showers scoop by during the morning hours. We get a break from the rain in the afternoon, at least in most areas, with a mix of sun and clouds. And then some more rain showers move in as we go into Wednesday evening. Though that rain is going to be arriving as we go towards sunset. So I guess you could say tomorrow is a little bit of a mixed bag. So the snow late tonight into daybreak Wednesday, not a lot, but just enough to put a little slushy coating on the grass to perhaps half an inch across the north woods. And I suspect that a lot of that snow is going to be melting on contact with the roads. Roads tomorrow morning will probably be wet, slightly slushy, especially on lesser traveled streets. And tomorrow, the wind is really going to be whipped up out of the south, gusting between 30 and 40 miles an hour through the midday and the afternoon. I know you're probably not looking forward to that kind of wind, but it is going to be blasting us with some warmer weather. Tomorrow, inland high temperatures get into the low and mid 60s. So our high temperatures will be climbing by a good 20 degrees compared to today. We'll have highs in the 50s across northern Wisconsin, and then Bayside and Lakeside highs mostly in the 40s, and a 52 there in Sheboygan. Of course, that's going to be very heavily dependent on how close you are to the water. If you're right up along the Lake Michigan shoreline, it'll be noticeably colder compared to folks who are a few miles inland towards, like, say, the I-43 corridor. So there's your First Alert Super 7-day forecast. Today, nice weather to get out and go ahead and participate in the spring election. A high of 40 with some sunshine. And then tomorrow, 61, cooler by the lakeshore. An early mix of snow and rain, then a mix of sun and clouds with all that wind, and then some more rain showers as we get towards sunset. There's also a chance of a few early showers on Friday, especially south of Green Bay, but for the most part, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is a nice stretch of weather with seasonable highs in the 50s. 50 is a normal high temperature now for this time of year. And then it gets even warmer as we go into next week. We're looking for highs in the 60s for Sunday and Monday. Monday might make it close to 70 degrees. But as we go through Sunday and Monday, we're going to have some showers and some thunderstorms. Now, here's a look at the projected rainfall over the next 7 days. And the lion's share of this is expected to come in early next week. 1 to 2 inches. That's quite a bit, especially keeping in mind that we have different flood warnings that are still up across the area. There's a flood warning still in effect for the Oconto River and the Wolf River, and I suspect those water levels will stay pretty status quo, at least for the Wolf River for much of this week. The Oconto River will probably see receding of the water levels as we go beyond tomorrow. But as we get that heavier rain Sunday and Monday into early next week, water levels on creeks and streams and rivers will probably start going back up again. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have some new flood warnings early next week, or perhaps a continuation of that flood warning on the Wolf River. We'll keep tabs on that and let you know what's going on the TV side and also on our free WBAY First Alert Weather app. Scan the QR code on the left side of your screen, depending on how you're watching this live stream, and you can download that app for free. It's always good to have, especially when you're going through transitional weather, trying to get out of winter, going into spring. Tomorrow is one of those days where our app can definitely come in handy. All right, coming up on Action 2 News at noon and again at 4, meteorologist Nolan Kane has an update on your forecast. And you may have noticed last week, Nolan and Emily Mers filling in on our evening shows because meteorologist David Ernst had been on spring break with his family, and he is back in the saddle tonight doing Action 2 News weather, or First Alert Weather on Action 2 News at 5, 6, and 10. So David Ernst returns tonight, so make sure you're watching that as well. All right, so coming up, let's see here, about 15 minutes from now, Action 2 News mid-morning, and Aisha and I will be there for that and go through all the latest news and weather and perhaps some fun stuff as well. Otherwise, there's your Tuesday weather. Enjoy the sunshine. Today's a good day to get out and take a walk. Just make sure you're dressed warmly. But things change tomorrow. You're going to have some rain. You're going to have some wind and some warmer weather. So don't be caught off guard. We'll keep you advised on what's going on with that. Otherwise, we'll wrap things up with a live shot from one of our sky cams. We'll pick this one. It's our Appleton sky cam. And look at that beautiful sapphire blue sky. And you know what? On a side note, I'm keeping an eye on that rooftop that's on the lower left-hand corner of your screen there. One of our producers, his name is Garrett. If you know Garrett, he produces our live stream at 7:05 every Monday through Friday. He was telling me he saw a seagull sitting there this morning, and we couldn't help but to wonder, is this a sign of maybe a new nest? Well, I think it's a little early to tell. There's probably some debris from last year's nest, but we will see. Time will tell. It'll be time for nesting season for our squawky friends in downtown Appleton as we go through the next few weeks, if not months. All right, there you go. Make it a great Tuesday. We'll catch you Wednesday at this time. See you around. Bye-bye.